don't want to lose too much time. So welcome everyone. This is our 7x7. So we're going to be having the regular guests, the regular process of 7 guests for 7 minutes. So it's going to be tip-top on time. We're still waiting for PDG Farid Gebran to join us. But in the meantime, I will pass the floor to Honorary Secretary Jean-Marc for the announcements. Jean-Marc, the floor is yours.
Thank you, President. So before we start our experience, we're going to start with the celebrations as usual. Happy birthday to Adam Majzoub, son of past President Rami Majzoub, 23 March. Tariq Saadeh, 23 March. Camille Hajjar, daughter of past President Ghassan Hajjar, 25 March. Khalid Bouhsali, 26 March. Kevin Kanaan, son of past President Joe Kanaan, 27 March. George Badaro, 27 March. Andrea Ghantouz, daughter of Marwan Ghantouz, 28 March. Clara Milke, wife of past President Rodolphe Milke, 28 March. Maria Ghazawi, daughter of past President Badruddin Ghazawi, 31 March. Happy birthday, everyone. Moving on to the announcements. So basically, we have next week on March 31, Wednesday, 2021 at 8 p.m. our General Assembly. Zone 21B is inviting us for a session titled Shaping Rotary's Future, Be the Change Maker. Speaker is past President of Rotary International, Barry Rasson. It's Monday, 29 March 2021 at 6 p.m. And finally, we have the Peace Fellowship, a unique opportunity. Speaker past President Jiris Shaheen from Jordan, date 31 March 2021, right before our General Assembly at 7 p.m. And I want to point out one small thing, that all our club members are all registered 100% on My Rotary. So this is something for all of us to know. Great job. So moving on to the 7x7 experience, just a small recap. We have 7 different topics with 7 different speakers. Each is going to speak for about 7 minutes. Tonight's topics are Rotary, Tyre-Europa, President Imane, Jaffal, Khalil. Second, we're going to have which structure fits for the incoming 100 years, PDG Farid Gebran. A Lebanese NGO testimonial, challenges and impact by past President Rami Majzoub. We have 2 potential members, Ms. Yumna Aboud and Ms. Jana Karam. Peace building and its implementation in schools by past President Rima Khalaf. And finally, Paint Me a Name by past President Christine Sabieh. And I hope everyone got a pen and a paper as requested by Pepe Christine. So moving on, we start with Rotary Tyre-Europa. President Imane, the floor is yours.
Oui, bonsoir tout le monde. أولاً أنا إيمان جفال أبو خليل مش خليل. Bonsoir tout le monde. أنا je m'excuse, j'ai préparé en arabe, carte en arabe, vraiment, je m'excuse. Bien que le temps était très petit pour moi, très court, mais je n'ai pas pu refuser à Président Agob de faire sa présentation. Et depuis 2 jours, je suis arrivée au Liban, au Canaan, et j'étais dans une situation vraiment très malheureuse. C'est la perte de ma sœur à Monaco. Donc, j'ai été pour faire tout ce qu'il faut. Bref, donc j'espère que je vais tout dire. Donc, comme je l'ai dit, j'ai préparé la présentation en arabe. Donc, je vais parler un peu de Tyre. Sour, حضارة فينيقية وأوروبا هي أميرة من أميراتها. لذلك كان اسم نادي روتري سور أوروبا ليعبر عن تاريخ المدينة وحاضرها. هي مدينة 6000 عام، تغير الناس، عاشت ورحلت وسور باقية، اسم على مسمى. فسور بالآرامية تعني الصخرة، وحين نتكلم عن سور بالمعنى الجغرافي للكلمة نحن نتكلم عن امتداد سهلي واسع من آلاف إكتارات الأرض الخصبة ترويها ملايين الأمتار من مياه العذبة. إن فكرة تأسيس النادي بدأت نحن كلوب جون. إن فكرة تأسيس النادي بدأت بال2013 وتكللت بالنجاح في حزيران 2015 بجهود الأعضاء المؤسسين وعلى رأسهم السيدة ميرا الخليل. أهم ما أنجزه النادي أولاً تأسيس روتر أكت أوف تاير بضم 21 عضواً. ثانياً تركيب فلاتر مياه في 16 مدرسة رسمية تضم 7500 طالب وجمعية تعنى بذوي الاحتياجات الخاصة في حصبية، أكيد بمساعدة ووتر كوميتي. تقديم 66 جهاز كمبيوتر لثانوية بمنطقة اسمها البازولية، يعني بمنطقة سور أكيد، ومتوسطة بحنواي أكيد كمان بمنطقة سور. المساهمة مع وزارة الصحة في حملة القضاء على مرض شلل الأطفال. أنا عم بحكي الإنجازات اللي صارت خلال السنين اللي صارت بنادينا. إقامة حفل عشاء ذهب ريعه إلى تحسين سجن سور. وضع إشارات لأرقام التليفونات في مدينة سور لكل من صليب الأحمر، المطار، الأمن العام، الدفاع المدني إكسترا، يعني اللازمين. لأن النادي مؤمن بالتنوع بوحدة لبنان، عقد لقاء ضم الرئيس وأعضاء الملتقى الإسلامي المسيحي، حيث تم البحث في أفكار الملتقى ونشاطاته. تعاون بين وزارة الزراعة وبعض النوادي الروترية، تم توزيع 6000 من شتول وأشجار من قبل النادي على البلديات ومدارس في منطقة سور. مشاركة النادي مع جيفت أوف لايف بعمليتين قلب للأطفال المحتاجين. دعم مستشفى سور الحكومي. يحيي النادي سنوياً مناسبة أعياد مثل عيد الميلاد المجيد وعيد الفطر ورمضان، أكيد هذه كل سنة بتصير عنا. محاضرات قيمة ثقافية تربوية، منها مع نائب حاكم مصرف لبنان السيد رائد شرف الدين مع المهندس زياد أبي شاكر. وتوزيع مساعدات غذائية 1560 وحدة غذائية ومنظفات وأدوية تعقيم في فترة الكورونا الجائحة، وذلك بفضل مساعدة من أصدقاء للروتري اللي بيأمنوا بصدقية الروتري. ترميم بيوت في حارات سور القديمة وأصحابها من كبار السن والمحتاجين. هود اللي عم خبركم هون، هود الإنجازات اللي صارت جروسو مودو بخلال السنين اللي مرقت بالنادي. هلا بدي احكي عن الانجاز اللي صار هالسنه الروتريه اللي كنت انا رئيستها. انا اشتغلت بيئيا اكثر شيء، اشتغلت على فرز النفايات بمدينه سور. تعاوننا مع جمعيه فكر وانسان للنفايات الصلبه، ومع بلديه سور للنفايات العضويه. ما خلصنا المدينه، اكيد اجت كورونا واجى الوضع وكل شيء، يعني صرنا بنص المدينه تقريبا، وان شاء الله بنكفي ونصير كل المدينه عشان نخفف نفايات. اعاده تاهيل الحرش صنوبر في سور عمره 100 سنه احترق منه، دونك زرعنا 100 شجره صنوبر بمساعده اصدقاء روتريين، واللافينول فرانسيز كديف الفرنسيه ساعدوني لتنظيف الحرش وغرس الشجر. في انفجار البور قدمنا 100 فرشة وحرامات ومخدات، وأكيد بريزيدان أجوب كان معنا. إعادة تأهيل منجرة في الكارنتينا، ترميم بيتين في مرم خايل، وقدمت مساعدات للدفاع المدني في سور في مرحلة بعد الانفجار، عشان كانوا دايما كل يوم ينزلوا على سور على بيروت ليساعدوا اللي صار بالبور، دونك قدمنا لهم مساعدات للدفاع المدني بسور. بمنطقة سور تم تقديم جهاز تنفس إلى دار العجزة في العباسية في منطقة سور أكيد، وشاز غولانت مع منظفات، وتقديم المساعدة والمعدات الطبية في القرى الحدودية اللي موجودة على حدود، من تاخد ميديكال، من شاز غولانت، من ووكر، من ماسك، من أوكسيمتر. وتقديم لسجن في سور ماسك وغان كمان، والأمن العام كمان ماسك غان وأوكسيمتر. والدرك قدمنا لهم فرش وحرامات، في عندهم سجن صغير كان بحاجة لشيء قدمنا لهم إياها. كما تم تقديم مساعدات عينة إلى مؤسسات الصدر كل الناس بتعرفهم، وكاريتاس فرع سور كمان ماسك وأوكسيمتر. وساهمنا بالمستشفى الوردية جلوبال جراند مع مسيو جميل معوض، وحملة تنظيف الشاطئ في سور، انتم سمعتوا شو صار على شاطئ سور، كمان ساهمنا معهم. وبهالسنة كمان عملنا زوم ميتينج مع بروفيسور رياض سعادي للتنمية الزراعية، وزوم ميتينج مع أستاذ أحمد الحسيني روتاري فاونديشن وبمناسبة عيد الميلاد المجيد 2020 تم توزيع ثياب وألعاب إلى أطفال محتاجين. ونحن عم نسعى لشراء 150 تابلت للمدارس الرسمية في سور، وعلى الصعيد النادي في سور نحاول أن نكسب أعضاء جدد لتفعيل نشاط النادي. إن نادي روتاري سور أوروبا يتطلع للتعاون مع كل الأندية الروتارية في لبنان من أجل تفعيل دور الروتاري، كما ويقوم بالتواصل مع فعاليات المجتمع المدني والأصدقاء من أجل مصلحة العامة. Voilà, c'est tout ce que j'ai à dire. Merci de m'avoir écouté.
Thank you, President Imane. It's really interesting because one of the main reasons why I've invited you is because I truly believe while you are at the extreme south of Lebanon, الواحد إذا بيسمع مظبوط القصص اللي عم تعملوهم and what you've listed, we come to realize in Rotary, wherever we all are doing, I would say, alike missions. يعني من زرع الشجر للتابلتس للفود بوكس للميديكال سبلايز لنوصل لمحل الروترية عم نعمل on est en train de faire ce que les fonds publics devraient être en train de faire. وهذا الشيء بدل انه لاي درجه le Liban du nord au sud, d'est en ouest a besoin d'aide. Mais ça veut aussi montrer, ça montre, et c'est très beau, comment la famille rotarienne, nous avons tous le même esprit, nous avons tous cet esprit d'aider, de nous entraider pour pouvoir aider le pays.
On sera toujours comme ça, et plus fort en plus. Inch'Allah.
Yeah. Et votre coopération avec le UNIFIL est vraiment formidable. Donc, moi, je voudrais peut-être un de ces jours inviter, quand le Covid sera passé, peut-être qu'on inviterait les membres du club à aller visiter Tyre et on pourrait avoir l'opportunité de voir encore plus sur le terrain. Merci, Président Imane, pour cette très belle présentation. Et parenthèse, Zrire, bonsoir, Pepe Mira. Welcome to our meeting.
Le colonel était
bonsoir tout le monde.
De connaître les Rotariens de Liban. Il m'a bien dit, le colonel Colombani, que j'aimerais bien connaître les Rotariens libanais. Il m'a bien précisé ça. Oui.
Bientôt, on fera leur connaissance aussi. Next, we would welcome PDG Farid Gebran. PDG, معنا. Le PDG Jean-Marc.
Oui. Bonsoir, Président.
Bonsoir.
Kifak.
Ça va, très bien. Et vous-même?
Ça va.
Welcome to our club for the 7x7. The floor is yours. I think you don't need any introduction. Everybody knows who PDG Farid Gebran is.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to contribute to participate in this meeting about which structure fits for the coming 100 years. So it seems that Rotary, after 115 years, think about the development of the management and the structure of Rotary. The board of Rotary International in November 2020 will consider a proposal by the Shaping Rotary Future Committee to move toward regionalization. Governance would move from the current 535 district to another structure between 20 and 40 regions, and each region is divided in many sections, and the total section would be between 1,500 and 1,600. So if we look about the current structure, we have on 4 levels. We have the international level, where we have the board of directors and the trustees. We have the regional level, which is very complicated, many coordinator, Rotary coordinator, Rotary Public Image coordinator, Rotary Foundation coordinator, EMGA endowment gift, endowment major gift advisor, and we have End Polio. These coordinators were created in 2010, I think so. And every one of the coordinator, Public Image Foundation and Rotary coordinator is allowed to nominate up to 9 assistant coordinator. So you imagine that 42 coordinator around the world, multiply by 3 and then by 9. So we have more than 1,000 Rotarian are involved in this structure. For what? What was the result after more than 10 years experience? In my opinion, nothing developed the Rotary. And when I was Rotary coordinator between 2010 and 2013, I wrote a letter to Rotary International that for which purpose you nominate coordinator, etc. And you imagine that all the coordinator spend 1 week in Evanston for training and then travel, etc. So a huge budget. Then the third level is the district. With the district, we have the district governor, many committees, and we have the assistant governor. And the fourth one is about Rotary Club and Rotaract Club. In the new structure, why they asked to change the proposed program was presented by Rotary in Australia. The reasons for change need for reorganizing the management. Yes, they have reason. Second, the current structure is no scalable. Yes, we developed Rotary coordinator, more than 126, and after that, layer up and layer of hierarchy need to providing more direct support to participant, not only to Rotarian, but to participant in Rotary activity. Role need to appeal to a broad base of participants. So these were the reason to propose the new structure. Now the new structure is divided in 3 levels. The first one is the global level, where we have the board of directors of Rotary International, trustees, and the board and the trustees, and we have global volunteer cadre. They create this because they need to develop the activity with volunteers, not only Rotarian. In between the first and the second, we have the region, but we have the secretariat and research of research center. After the global level, we have the region level. In the region level, we have the regional council and regional council committees. The region around the world, we no more 535 district governor. They will be between 20 and 40 region, and for each region, we have a council and we have committees. And between the region, we have section. In the section, for each section, we have leader and leader-elect. And we go down to the club, to the Rotaract, to Rotary, and to non-club participant. This is an idea to develop who can contribute with Rotarian to develop activities. This is the new structure, and the regional, how they will choose the region. They will choose the region taking in consideration the culture, the language needs and focus, the geography, and the efficiency of each region. Now the district, you know how is composed by the clubs. In each region, as I said, there is sections. The total sections will be between 1,500 and 1,600. In each section, they will be between 25 and 30 clubs. The clubs are could be from the same country, could be from different country, and the number of sections not all the same between the region, could vary between region and another. Section support is provided by a leader and leader-elect. So we replace the governor for a district by leader for a section and leader-elect. How this program will be implemented? We are waiting the Council on Legislation next month. We are waiting the Council on Legislation on April 22, who will decide if this pilot program will be adopted as pilot program, not a final program. And we have 3 years experience from July 22 to July 25. During the next Council on Legislation in 2025, they will decide after 3 years of experience if this program will be implemented or not, and what are the region and the sections between the region. As we know, all the pilot program in Rotary and Rotary Foundation were adopted after a trial period. So we have to wait, really, we have to wait if it will be adopted and implemented starting 1st July 2025. They will choose 100 district or region around the world to constitute the region as a pilot during this 3 years. We have to wait. They consider that more attractive opportunities to lead at section levels, because the section don't exceed 30 Rotary clubs, greater efficiencies, participants will receive more direct and regional support, different tracks for leadership development, support from the volunteer. They create on the international level, the volunteer cadre, and significant cost saving, approximately $20 million per year. So we have, our district will continue as it is till July 2025. This is still under discussion. For the next Council on Legislation, they will decide to create this proposal as pilot project and to be adopted at the next Council on Legislation on 2025. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Past Governor, for giving us this presentation about the roadmap of the Rotary in the future. It's really interesting to see how the Rotary is always dynamic and always looking for the most practical way of doing things, I guess. We are looking forward for this experience, for the vote of July, as you're mentioning, and for the experience 3 years later to see how it's going to go. We'll get back to you and we'll ask you for updates in the future, I hope. Thank you so much again for this presentation.
Thank you.
Next, Pepe Rami Majzoub. Past President Rami Majzoub is going to be talking to us about his testimonial with NGOs. Rami, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, President Hagop, for hosting me tonight. I feel quite honored to be speaking about an experience in my own club. Well, NGO, I mean, the first thing when I say NGO, I mean, I cannot but think of our colleague and mentor to most of us, President-elect Roni Farra, because we shared some experiences, namely during the creation of Injaz, which was formerly known as Junior Achievement. So what I want to share about one of the NGOs I've been involved in since the very beginning. It could have been our own club. It could have been Injaz with Roni. It could have been Junior Chamber International, because many have similar paths as far as the challenges and the impact they make. But I decided to highlight an NGO known as DCL, Development, Culture and Leadership, which is an NGO I co-founded with Dr. Munzer Fatfat some 13 years ago. And Dr. Fatfat, some of you in our club know him. He was already a speaker in the past at the Rotary Club Beirut Cedars. So it's a fellow Lebanese American who came back some 15 years ago to Lebanon, and he was shocked by the poverty in Tyre-Europa, an area where he originated from. He had no clue about how to create an NGO, what to make. So of course he had to rely on a local. And I was happy, me myself, I didn't know anything neither about Tyre-Europa, though I originate from Tripoli in the north. But Tripoli, imagine, with all the challenges of today, is considered as a rich town compared to Tyre-Europa. So we decided to try to make an impact through education, because we believed when we saw the youth there, we realized that most of them have illiterate parents. So when they come back after school, there is no one to help them. Their parents throw them on the streets, where they might end up, unfortunately, becoming, it's a very vulnerable area. They might be inclined to do some drug dealing or be victim of potential violent extremism action and what have you. So we said that the best thing is to rely on education, and we started by giving them simply homework assistance, what's known as their agenda support for the following, so that they can succeed at their own school, which was a public school most of the time, but at least they're going and studying. We were sending a bus to take them from school, and then we were taking them to a small center which we rented. At the beginning, we didn't have any money. Even the municipality put at our disposal a safe space. And this way, at least, we knew that they were not on the street, they were studying something. This is how the journey started, with very modest means and just making an impact through education. And then we realized that this was much more powerful than we thought, because suddenly we started getting people from, I mean, historically, like in many areas in Lebanon, Tyre-Europa was 30% Christian and 70% Muslims. And during the war, many of the Christians flee. And when we realized that, then they realized that we have this program, some of the Christians found it useful for their own community. So it became a hub for harmony and studying in synergy together. And Christians and Muslims realized that actually they're not so different. So this was really this was really the peace and creating peace through education, beyond the words and beyond funding millions. Now, fast forward to 12, 13 years later, after we had by then given many scholarships, and some of the scholarships, actually, I mean, we don't have the means to give them to go to study at LAU or AUB, etc. We were giving stipends of $100. I mean, not $100 back then, it was 150,000 lira, so that they can cover their transportation to the Lebanese university from the north to Al-Hadath or elsewhere, and sometimes paying for their dorms or their basic books and tuition. So it was for the Lebanese university, but still, even that they could not afford it. To give you an indication of how much poverty we had to relieve. And some of them imagined that we had 3 or 4 from those were able to get Fulbright scholarship, though they didn't speak a single word of English. So some of them, they had their dream. They are now in the States studying there, although they could not afford buying a sandwich. What I wanted to highlight is the last couple of years, because suddenly, from being in education, we found ourselves a small powerhouse in food parcels in the north. When the crisis started in October 2019, we said, okay, you know, like everyone else, we found ourselves very spontaneously in the food thing, because people, especially in the north, had less money than the others. They could not afford buying their basic commodities. So everyone started spontaneously giving 50,000 lira, 100,000 lira, so that you can contribute the price of a food, basic food parcel. And because people trusted us, that they knew that this were coming, so suddenly we started having the Lebanese Food Bank, Rotary Club Beirut Cedars, the Lebanese diaspora in Amman also sending us parcels. So suddenly we started, I mean, from distributing 100 parcels first, then we realized that suddenly after 2-3 months, we had distributed 1,000, 2,000 parcels. And when one day we got the visit of a delegation of the United Nations World Food Program, they were very pleasantly surprised. They said, oh my God, you're the best kept secret in the north. I mean, you guys have the infrastructure, you have the know-how, and most importantly, you have the database, because you know that you have to give to the really needy people. So why don't we guys collaborate in some form? We need your data, we need the expertise of your volunteers on the ground. So let's start collaborating together. And we collaborated on a small scale through Caritas, a partner of theirs, and they were very happy with the results. So they encouraged us to apply to some of the programs they have on the UN portal, and which DCL did last September. Eventually, they win a project to become the partner for the north of Lebanon to distribute 9,000 food parcels to 25 students, 25 schools, to impacting not less than 15,000 families of students in the north. So imagine that's a very modest NGO which started, I mean, just by providing an agenda support to pupils 13 years ago. Suddenly they found themselves handling $1 million worth project with the United Nations World Food Program in the north of Lebanon. And this is just because I think that the trust of the volunteers, and they saw that the interest and were genuine, that they saw really passion, the United Nations will to serve. And these are all, I mean, values which we have also in Rotary, but I'm emphasizing this to show that when we serve without expecting anything, serving beyond self, without expecting necessarily in return, the return will come by itself. I mean, of course, the biggest return is to be able to see that we are making an impact albeit, I mean, for now, we always need more, but people are in distress. So when you see, I mean, there are two sides of the coin. Someday I'm really sad because I see two families fighting over a parcel. This parcel is mine, no, this mine. I mean, which shows that how much they are really needy. But on another side, I see other days I see someone carrying a parcel, a father of one of the pupil, and being really happy with a smile on his or her face. And then I realized that we're really making an impact, at least alleviating a bit the distress of the Lebanese families currently. I'm being told that, sorry, I got excited, so maybe I took more time than I should, but I just wanted to share the small testimonial to see that we can all make an impact from whatever position we are when we put our energy and our heart and mind and soul in it. So thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Pepe. Rami, quite an interesting operation you have there and great impact. Good luck with all your future projects. Now, moving on to our two potential members, we're going to start with Ms. Yumna Aboud. The floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. So I was told to prepare something.
I guess Yumna disconnected. Maybe Jana, you're still online with us. You can start and then Yumna will continue. Jana, you're with us?
Yes, yes. I'm just trying to. Hello, everyone. I'm going to start by presenting myself. My name is Jana Karam. I am a Lebanese lawyer. I studied first in Lebanon, my LB in law, my licence en droit libanais, and then pursued a master's in arbitration and also another master's in business law in Paris too, Université Panthéon-Assas. And I've worked almost 3 years in Paris before coming back to Lebanon to pursue my traineeship to become a qualified lawyer in Beirut. Today, I want to talk to you about why I want to join the Rotary Club. So, first of all, I've been hearing a lot of you talking about service about self, purpose, passion. I think that all of these words are very important, but nobody actually knows what it means until they get 100% involved and committed. The first reason I wanted to join Rotary is a bit personal. It's because I felt I want to get involved 100% in a group, in a community that knows the value of helping people grow on a personal level and as a society. So this need in me grew after the 4th of August, after the blast, because I was among the people who got injured. And I thought that life should have a bigger purpose than just helping each other. I should be getting involved in this. I should be a part of a community that is 100% involved in changing the world, in changing a society like Lebanon that is collapsing, whether from an economical perspective, even its society, politics, from all of its point of view, and even worse, from an educational perspective. So joining the Rotary would give me the chance to personally grow on a personal level and to help the community and the people of my country that I love the most. So why did I choose Rotary, not maybe another club, or why didn't I just like volunteer or try to help in general another NGO or another maybe institution? The answer would be because of reputation. Rotary has an excellent reputation and chooses its members very wisely from a character's perspective. And from my personal experience as a lawyer and as an individual, I can tell that character is the essence of what a person can, let's say, can promise or can do or can change or anything. And I don't think it's everything in life, but it's 50%. So joining a Rotary would be a chance for me to make the change that I've been longing to make with fellow members, and to dream of a better country, better opportunities, because nowadays a lot of young people and even older people who have families, are dreaming of better futures for themselves and for their children. So why not just give them this opportunity here? Why should they always leave? Why should they always give up to dream of something better? Furthermore, I was a member of Rotaract before, when I used to be younger. I was 19 years old. I was a treasurer in Rotaract Byblos. So I got the chance to learn a little bit about the institution of Rotaract/Rotary, service above self, the main mission and values. But I'm talking about joining the Rotary today because I want to finally be able to make this change, to start getting involved on a personal level with all the Rotarians, and just start the process of change that I think that will need a lot of time. So this is it.
Well, thank you so much, Jana. It's quite interesting what you've told us, and your motivations are really cool. I assure you that as soon as you're going to be on board, you're going to be directly put on a track of helping.
I hope so.
And we're going to push you. And I don't know if I will have the time as the president of this club, because at the end of the day, my year is going to end in July. But I assure you that with Roni, you're going to have plenty of time to exercise your volunteering. Now, we're going to jump to Yumna, who was smiling earlier. So unmute yourself, please. And Yumna, quickly, if you can tell us why you would like to join our club. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So quickly, because I realized that we are short in time. First, I would like to say that I was with Jana on the 4th of August, but luckily I was not injured. She was a little bit. So, so I also was moved because I got back to that day. So I am just going to list or tell you a little bit my experience in community service and in social work that I have been passionate about ever since my young years. So I was in my young age part of MEJ, which is Mouvement Eucharistique des Jeunes, from which I got to volunteer in 2 international events. The first was in Jordan in 2009, where we went to help the Iraqi refugee community in a region called Fouhais. The second was in 2011, where I was part of the JMJ, which is Journée Mondiale de la Jeunesse. And in this, I got to go and live an experience of 20 days in the north of Spain, helping small villages with their daily activities. And in that experience, I got a little medical incident, which led me to stop this type of activities. Actually, I got a second-degree sunburn throughout my feet, which prevented me from walking for a few days. So back then I decided to stay local, and so many volunteering experiences came one another from the Order of Malta and also the Lebanese Red Cross in a special unit called the Disaster Management Unit. So the most recent The most recent was an initiative that I tried to launch with some friends in the early 2020, which was aiming to help NGOs in their need, but then this was not very successful with the COVID. So I tried to make this impact in my company where I work, where I help create a CSR community, which is corporate social responsibility committee, and with that we were able to help in many projects the community. And so last but not least, the final international experience, which I'm very proud of, and which I did for my own well-being, was in July 2019, where I decided to go on a solo trip to Bali for 2 weeks, and with that I really challenged myself and challenged my whole family, because I joined another international community which is called Unsettled, which has an alumni in Lebanon for over 50 people, and during a trip I did like a little self reflection on what I wanted to do with my life, especially on the community service. But I did what I could, and now I do why Rotary, because Rotary is a international community organization, which is actually what I have been looking for a long time, and I do believe that within this organization I would be able to make the sustainable impact that I was always longing for. Thank you.
Thank you, Yumna. I have to say that you're both of you, Yumna and Jana, the way you're presenting yourselves is really fantastic, and I've received a private message telling me you make it sound like it's an interview, job interview. So no, it's not. You are joining a community. It's extremely touching the way you're opening up and telling us your experience and how you felt about the explosion and so on. Rotary is an amazing family. This is what I can tell you, and the experience is really nice. It indeed is a very nice multinational NGO organization, and the power of it and the scope of it and whatever we can reach with it and what we can do through it if we do it right is amazing. But most importantly, the friendship that you're going to be building in here and the family that you're joining is going to make you really feel like, at least this is what I've lived until now, and I'm keep on living it, is like it's really a family spirit, and it's amazing. So thanks again for having shared all of this. No, it was not a job interview, Jean-Marc. And next we're going to go to Pepe Rima. Pepe Rima, please, the floor is yours. Just unmute yourself. You're still muted.
Hello, good evening. I'm Rima Khalaf, past president, Rotary Club Beirut Cedars, and I would like to share my screen. The host has to let me share my screen.
There you go. It should be done now.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's taking some time. You have to. Oh, I don't know how to do it. Okay. 1 minute. Okay. Stop sharing my screen. Oh no. عم تزبط. لحظة.
Rima, if you want, we can go forward with the presentation of past President Christine,
Okay.
and I can assist you on the side for the
Please do,
screen
because
sharing.
I had everything prepared, but I don't know why I can't find it anymore.
I will assist you on the side. Pepe Christine, the floor is yours.
We should have prepared it before.
Before having the floor ready, does everyone have a pen and a paper in hand?
Yeah, you need a pen and paper. We're going to have fun. Hopefully, if we have time.
Yeah, let's do this. Everybody has a pen and a paper. By the way, everybody who has his camera off is cheating.
Shoot, Christine.
Huh?
Yalla, go ahead.
Okay. Put on my slides. Okay, so I was asked by Secretary Jean-Marc to select a topic from a number of topics, and I selected the fun topic because I figured we were going to be hearing a lot of Rotarian information, so I figured we needed to do something fun. So the title of my presentation is Paint Me a Name. So yalla, let's paint. So did you ever think about what is a name, or did you ever think about how important names are? Jot down a few words if you want. Jot down a few words. Jot down a few words just to think as we go along. Because the idea, okay, I give you for a second to jot down a few words. What is it that we know about names? What is a name? Why is a name important? Why does a name have power? Why were we named what we are named? How do we name people? How do we nickname people? You know, what is all this about? Okay, does anybody want to share for a second? Just literally a second.
What do you want me to what we wrote about the name?
Yeah, just throw out some words.
Well, I said recognition and identification.
Okay. Someone else? Anyone else?
Yeah.
Family.
A name sticks to a person, and the nickname sticks to a character.
Okay, very good. Okay, let's have our next slide. So when we think about a name, we need to think about the idea of how powerful a name can be. It is a descriptor. It allows people to make quick judgments about you or the name that you are giving someone. You make quick judgments when you think of names, and you create assumptions with a name. You create assumptions with a name. So did you ever think about what your name actually stands for? I sent you all today on WhatsApp actually the descriptors of your name, but did you ever say to yourself, oh yeah, this is what really sounds like me? Does your name suit you, or does your nickname suit you? How would you describe yourself? You all read your names today. Everybody that was on the WhatsApp group got their name. I also have one for Farid, and I also have one for Amna. But we didn't have your telephone numbers to send them to you. We can always send them to you later on. But the idea is, what does your name or your nickname or what you nickname people stand for? Did you ever think about that? Think about this for a second. Go on to the next slide. The power that you have. Write down some words that relate to power. Can you say your name gives you power? What descriptors can you give yourself that give you power? Are you thinking? Okay, let's go on to the next slide. Now, this is according to Rotary. Rotary believes that your name is your greatest connection because it is through your identity of your name in Rotary that gives you your individuality. And when you think about your name as a name, It is the most important word for you as an individual. For you as an individual, because this is your name, not your family name. In Lebanon, they always think of us as our family name, but in reality, it is your name that is important. And it is very easy to get someone's attention because when you call someone by name, I know when I call someone by name, even in my classroom, it's like I'm giving them a sign of an attention. I'm giving them attention. I'm giving them the courtesy that I recognize them. So when you call someone by their name, you're giving them some form of a recognition. Next slide. So according to Rotary, the cornerstone of your very presence in Rotary is the fact that you are building acquaintanceships, you are building friendships. And that's why in Rotary, it is very important that you use your first name. They don't use courtesy titles. They don't believe in the use of the courtesy title, because when you use a courtesy title, you give the respect to the title and not to the name. So names are what you give respect to. Next slide. So for example, in Asia, okay, let's consider us this part of the world, they tend to give Rotarians humorous names. This is again, according to the site. They give them humorous nicknames and they relate them to either their character or to the work profession that they are in. And that's
Okay, we lost PP Christine, but it's quite interesting, by the way, while waiting for her to come back. I love the idea that in Rotary, we shouldn't be using titles. It's just names, just to be more friendship basis. And I think this is quite interesting. It's a mindset that we need to have in Lebanon in general and in Rotary. You're back. I'm giving you back the floor. Thank you.
I still am off electricity. I put you on my phone. It's okay.
What? You're managing perfectly fine. We're with you.
Okay, so the idea is, next slide. The idea is when you think of the names, either the nicknames based on our character or based on our profession, here is an example of one. Here is an example of one, a nickname given to a person related to the profession, oxygen. The nickname of the person is oxygen. What do you think oxygen stands for? Would you think that this person is a person who manufactures chemical gas products? So they walk around calling this person, hey, oxygen. How are you, oxygen, today? Okay, let me turn off my phone now. So the idea is, when we think of trees, what do you think this person's profession is when you think of trees? Lumber business. He's in the field of, he deals with wood. So think of building. If your nickname is building or paper, what would that be? Building or paper? What do you think the profession would be? Ironic enough. A contractor, if you're a builder. Stationary, you are someone who works in an office, or you own the business of an office. So it's not only the profession, but you could also be a person, next slide, that has a lot of muscle, or you could be a person who smiles a lot. So next slide. Hanadi, next slide, yeah. So they can give you a nickname based on your physical features. Next slide. Look at mine. Isn't that nice? Christine, pure heart. So ironically enough, if I was to draw something, I can just draw a heart and that's it. Hey, you with the big heart. And it's true. When I read my descriptor, I said to myself, wow, they hit it on they literally hit it on the nail. So what I want you to do with this little piece of paper is I want you to draw you. I want you to give me your nickname. Give me your nickname. Give me a name that you want to be known by so that we can call you Joe whatever, Ronnie whatever, Philip whatever, Khalid whatever, Rima whatever. So yalla, draw for a second. Next slide. Draw yours. Let's not be Picasso. If you don't want to draw, give us some adjectives of who you are. Reflect who you are on that piece of paper. And when you're ready, show it to us. Put on your camera and show it to us. Put the view up so that we can see it.
Where are we?
I found a nickname for Ronnie.
Mike, in order for us to be able to show a piece of paper, I think we have to remove the virtual background.
No, put it up. Yalla, put it up. Show us.
Anna, I'm not good at drawing, so I just drew letters, but I don't know if it shows. There you go.
Okay, very good. I think for homework, since you all are trying to be more Picassos taking time.
And this is mine.
You need to put it on the WhatsApp for us so that we can all see what you did. Okay, I want to see it on the WhatsApp, everybody. Go to my next slide. We're not seeing anybody.
Why?
Two, Rimas and Hagobs. So the idea is when we conclude, when we want to think about names and nicknames, when we want to think about that, we need to become engaged to be able to say to ourselves, we're being creative. We are individuals who are out of the box, because at the end of the day, we are Rotarians. So we are out of the box individuals. We need to leave an impression, and our name or our nickname leaves our impression. We are individuals who are out here to serve. Fellowship is very important for us. The spirit of personal friendships are very important. So we need to engage. And when we engage, we need to engage strategically, and we need to make sure, that we are being portrayed. Ça va?
Ça va, ça va.
So I expect you all to do your homework and remember Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So your name, your nickname, your image is going to tell us how sweet you actually are. So I expect tonight, between tonight and tomorrow, to see all your images on the WhatsApp.
Very sweet, Christine.
Are we going to be graded?
No. Unless you guys are going to pay me, then I'm grade.
And okay. Here, as I introduced myself before, I am Rima Khalaf, past president, Rotary Club Beirut Cedars. And after Christine break, which was très sympathique, we will come back to peace matters. I'm going to talk to you tonight about a program that's very dear to my heart and that I worked on during my presidency, and it's peace building and its implementation in schools. I strongly believe in education to change the world. And if we want a better world, we have to start teaching the young generations who are our future. For a better world, we need peace, people living together in harmony and respect. The earlier we start education, the more we are going to root these beliefs in humanity. We would teach our children to accept each other with their differences and their beliefs. We can have different views, but we should accept the other with his differences in order to build a better tomorrow. We could have different skin colors, but we are all human beings with the same rights and the same opportunities. We can have different religions, but we all have the same rights and the same humanity. The earlier we teach our children these norms, the more likely we are to save our world by creating more responsible and dignified individuals. That is what I worked on during my presidency. A conflict resolution and peace project that we applied all through Lebanon to different classes of society in private and public schools, and mostly in schools in conflict areas. The children were taught how to resolve conflicts one step at a time, finding innovative solutions, empowering them with positive discussions and friendly solutions. Here you can see them. First, we had them stand next to each other and push their hand in opposite direction. And this meant that they were going nowhere, because when you have different opinions and you don't go along with each other, you don't move, you are standing still. So then we asked them to draw their footprint. They drew their footprint, cut them, and we asked them to write on them how they would solve a conflict that they were given. They were divided in groups, and each wrote on his footprint a way that he thinks he can solve a conflict. Some wrote no discrimination, understanding, innovation, التفاهم والحوار, حب الآخر, مساعدة الآخر, respect of others. It was a course of national understanding of peace and its application in daily life in order to accept and overpass our differences, seeking for a better world of friendship and fellowship. This was the main concern for Rotary and the United Nations. In 2001, the United Nations decided to create an international day for world peace. It is the 21st of September. And Rotary, within its area of focus, implemented peace and conflict resolution. It created the Rotary Group for Peace and the Rotary Peace Centers in 2002. Since its inception, it has trained 1,400 fellows who work in 115 countries in strategic position to make the world a better place. Every year, Rotary fully funds 50 master's degrees that take between 12 and 24 months, and 80 peace certificates in the summer for 3 months, which is 130 peace fellow. So if you have candidates, they can apply before the 15th of May for the year 22-23. To be eligible, they need a bachelor's degree. They should be working in the field, but they cannot be Rotarian or from a direct family of a Rotarian. As you see, the Peace Fellows work all over the world, mainly in non-governmental and government organizations, and in different also fields as well, and trying to make a better world. So 1,400 Peace Fellows in 20 years is a good number, but not good enough. What I would like to happen is a curriculum including peace education, starting from kindergarten to high school, and which every child would be following. It's an education for the whole world and to every single individual. It's through such a global action that we can hope to change the world of conflict that we live in. that we can hope to form individuals who would be looking for the good of the world and not for their own gain at the expense of others, like what's happening in our country. A world of understanding, of compassion and dignity. Thank you. If anyone has any questions, since I think we still have time, it's not 7 minutes yet.
Thank you, Pepe Rima. Actually, it's 8 minutes, but but of course, if anybody has any question, I'm gonna first close the meeting of today. So thank you so much for having attended the 7x7, which went a bit over the time. The meeting is adjourned, but of course, it's fellowship time. So if anybody has any question to Pepe Rima, you can all unmute yourselves. And thank you.